why is it illegal, Nancy, and which ones? Psychedelics have been illegal, classified illegal for 60 years, and much like cannabis has been at the federal level. And it's only now, because of so much research going on, where there's so much evidence of improvement, that the whole legal apparatus decriminalizing through education, those of us that are really leading with education, we're going to see more and more progress there. I also would point out that one thing that's great about decriminalizing psychoactive plants and mushrooms is it's very bipartisan. Actually, the military, right, Steve, has done so much work in treating PTSD with psychoactives. And so, unlike cannabis that has a lot of other social, cultural influences, the psychedelic, plant medicines are really being looked at as so highly therapeutic that I think we're going to see a lot of progress over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and that question can go pretty deep on why
Yes.
it is illegal. Obviously, there's
Sure.
a lot of political conversation there. When you start looking at, there's a lot of religious, which actually communicates with the political side of things.
Sure.
There are multiple tests. There are multiple test studies that were done within the Catholic Church up in Boston, with a lot of the bishops that were there, and with miraculous observations that were done. But then obviously the Catholic Church began to catch aware of that and didn't like that these incredible experiences and communicative portals were being done. And the priests all came out saying what amazing experiences they had. But obviously that was not what people were looking for. And so that then went up the political line, along with when Albert Hoffman introduced LSD, and the CIA jumped on board with that. And we're doing multitude of tests with incredible results. But obviously, they also realized the power and strength of it, of recognition and awareness. And that's what they were afraid of. They were afraid that people would actually figure out what we're doing. So obviously, nobody wants people to know what actually happens and what's really going on beneath the surface. So when you can start figuring that out, people get scared. So that's when a lot of the myths of the illegalities began to bring up.
That's why we're hosting these types of classes. So in these last couple of minutes, Steve, give everybody some input of, if they want to learn more about your work, some of the courses, workshops, where do they go? I don't know if Ezra has that. She can put the links up for you, but please give us a little insight to that.
Sure. Thank you for that, Lou. And I know, Deanna, you had that quick question. I'll bring your question into some of these answers here of the program itself. On that last question you had there, Deanna. I have a couple different programs. One is a 6-week group program. Our next group is beginning October 9th. That's a six-week, very intense program. I do see one of former students on here, Tanya. She was part of one of our cohorts. So beautiful for her to be on this conversation here. And those last 6 weeks, they're very intense. And what I mean by intense is that it's intense as into your commitment to it. There's coursework. There's basically a book of content that you go through on a weekly basis that's offered to you. And that's part of the set and setting of this. And microdosing at this level is not just about taking the dosages. It's about actually going through the coursework and actually diving in deep within your understanding of yourself. So that coursework lasts 6 weeks, has one-on-one virtual coaching, where you do receive actual one-on-one coaching. You have weekly webinars with the group. That is a review, a teaching of the actual content. We have breath work and meditation classes 2 times a week that are offered in the morning. And I think that kind of might begin answering your question, Deanna, a little bit about setting that intention and learning how to create that morning ritual. So that takes place 2 times a week. You have weekly assignment and tasks and prompts that prompt you into your journaling, which allows you to begin teaching yourself. And you also have in the program itself, you have work with we have work with Lou on consultations to really understand the different types of medicine and what's going to work best for you. And you also have a functional medicine doctor that works with us in the program, where you have a one-on-one session with the functional medicine doctor, renowned functional medicine doctor, Dr. John Kim, and he provides that one-on-one consultation and also some group work as well during the program. So it's very intense on that realm. And so, Deanna, you begin to understand um, how to go about the openings of your day and reset how you're intentionalizing your thoughts. And through that 6 weeks, you begin to repattern the way you see your daily life, the way you see others, the way you see your work atmosphere, and you begin understanding why you've placed these limiting beliefs on yourself. And we all do. And I don't care what level of performance you're at, it doesn't matter at all. There are ceilings of limiting beliefs that you have placed on yourself, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's very, very natural. But then to understand and realize why, that's where the beautiful power comes in. So a lot of that setting comes in, Deanna, in your morning routine and in that morning journaling, in those morning prompts. You begin learning about high frequency music and how powerful and impactful that becomes in your life. The crazy part is that I listen to high frequency music. When I mean high frequency music, I'm talking about artists like East Forest and Trevor Hall and people like that, or Hoffman. And I listen to them while I work out, and I'm listening to chiming bells and Tibetan bowls as I'm working out. But what it does is that I've created an atmosphere that places me into a flow state. And when I'm in a flow state, and the final week of our program is called Flowformance, it's to the two words brought together, flow and performance. And we begin discussing about what it is to be in a flow state and the understanding. We go deeply into 3D versus 4D, a third dimension, which is us right now, fourth dimension, which is an emotional attachment, and then fifth dimension, which is an emotional prediction of what's going to happen. And so understanding when you're able to move into from that 3D to 4D, that's actually moving into a flow state. And that 4D is where you are emotionally attached to what's actually happening and going on. And you're not attached in the 3D. In the 3D, we have our learned habits that take place. So we begin to learn about how to place yourself into that flow state and go through actual steps, proven steps that will help you move into a flow state where you can do it in different segments along the way. After the course work, there's one-on-one work after you've gone through the course. And the one-on-one work is really interesting because it's 6 weeks on, Lou, and it's 8 weeks off. So the 8 weeks off is you being able to work within yourself. It's the old method of not just giving you a bucket of fish to eat, it's giving you the fishing pole so you can eat for a lifetime. And during that 8 weeks, it's you really learning how to work within yourself. And then you come back with that advancement in what you've learned. And then we readjust again for another 6 weeks. And that takes place for a whole year, right? Where we go on 4 different segments of 6 weeks throughout the year, with the blocks of 8 weeks off in between. It's extremely, extremely powerful. We have multiple tests during that, so you can determine where your cortisol levels are and how the microdosing is improving those cortisol levels. So that's part of the functional medicine aspect of it as well.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks, Steve, for that. And then uh, you can also, all of you, if anyone is interested in the course, please take a look at the links and any other work. And of course, here at the Alchemist Kitchen, you can always go to our website, sign up for a private one-on-one consultation. We're very, very experienced at giving people the insight and answering questions around how you can align your personal intentions with the use of with microdosing.